Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are making prime rib. I'm super excited for this recipe for multiple reasons. One, because I've never made this before. Full transparency. But don't be alarmed, I'm gonna show you how easy and amazing this recipe is. I did a lot of research leading up to this, learning as much as I can so I can give y'all a great video so y'all can feel inspired to make this. Two, this is my test today. This is game day for me. Prime ribs are no jokes. This is really gonna see if I really like that in the kitchen. So I'm ready for this challenge. And then three, on top of that, for the holiday season, we always have this, and I look forward to having it every year. I think this can be made any time of the year, but especially for the holidays, it's going to be great. And then at the end, we're gonna make a rib on jus just to go on top of the prime rib. It's going to be spectacular. A few ingredients. We do have a little bit of prep work, which is just making the compound butter. So we'll go ahead and get started on that, and then everything else is going to be downhill. Let's bring out the star of the show, which is this beautiful rib roast. As you can see, y'all see the little ribeye right here. So if you were to cut one off, you would have a ribeye. But this is a prime ribeye. Like I said, you can get a choice cut as well, and the choice cut has a little bit less marbling. As you can see, that this has a lot of good marbling on here. And also the choice cut is going to be a little cheaper. And then also going back to how we prepped this the day before, I salted it. Salted it pretty heavily, not heavily, but got a nice layer on it just so I can draw out all the moisture and get as much flavor as possible. And then as you can see, I asked for the butcher to cut the bones off of it and then tie them back to it. So when it comes down to eat it, we could just clip the strings, take the bones off, and it's super simple work. So we'll go ahead and set this to the side, and we'll go ahead and get started on our compound butter. Starting on our compound butter, we're gonna need a few things. Starting off with butter, I love Kerrygold, not sponsored. Kerrygold, if you're out there, sponsor me, please. I love y'all. So we'll go ahead and get that into the bowl. And you wanna make sure this is pretty well softened so you can mash everything around. And I'm doubling up on the compound butter just so I have enough. That is a pretty big prime rib. So I'm gonna go ahead and just smash that down. And you wanna make sure it's softened so it's malleable so you're able to work all the other ingredients into it. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then guys, like always, the recipe will be down below, but go ahead and get your oven preheated to 450 degrees to start off. And then we need to add some garlic. Look at all the garlic we have. Oh my goodness. A lot of garlic. I love garlic. Garlic brings great flavor. And luckily, since we salted it last night, we don't need to salt it again. So we'll scoot this to the side. We'll bring back our bowl. And now you're just gonna mince all the garlic and place it in here. Did you know that when you're using a garlic press, you don't have to take the paper off because it's gonna squirt out anyway? So I'm gonna show y'all. There's paper still on it still. A lot of paper on it still. Put it in there, and now you just squeeze it out. And just spoon to get it off. Squeeze it out, put it right there. And now you're just gonna rinse and repeat with all your garlic. Next, we need to add a couple sprigs of rosemary and thyme. So the tedious part of this is doing all this. So just slide it backwards to remove all of the leaves off of it. It's actually kind of easy, but it just takes a little bit of time. And we're gonna chop all this up very finely. So once I have this all off the stem, I will show you how to chop it up. It's simple, guys, but I'll see you in a second. And once you got all that off the stem, bring back a knife, and now you just wanna chop this up very finely. Get it as fine as possible. If there's a little big pieces, don't worry about it, but you want it as fine as possible. So just go through that a couple of times, getting it pretty fine. And we'll go ahead and add that to the butter next. So continue to chop. Oh, I love prime rib so much. This is gonna make me happy. And since it's just me, I'm gonna be eating prime rib for a couple of days. So unless y'all want some, let me know down below if y'all want some, and I'll send it out to y'all. And now we got it nicely chopped up. We'll go ahead and add all this to our compound mixture. Should I do a knife? Add all that. And then now, like we said, we got everything in there. We're just gonna give this a good mix, combine everything, make a beautiful compound butter. Oh yeah, that's gonna be great. It smells fantastic. Oh, we need one thing. Let's add some black pepper to it. And since we salted it last night, I did use quite a bit of salt to cover it up. We're not gonna salt it again because we don't want our food to be salty, but we want our food to be salted. So, a couple lugs of that, and then now we'll go ahead and mix it up. And that black pepper will help give it a nice crust as well. Oh yeah, this is gonna be impressive. Imagine doing this for your fam And they think you put all this work into it and really it was a couple ingredients. That's what makes this recipe special. I'm telling y'all. Dang. Okay, bang. Look at that beautiful compound butter. I love it. Looks great. And now we're just gonna bring back our prime rib, lather it up, and we're ready to go. So I went ahead and put some gloves on so we can lather this up. Don't wanna get my hands too messy. So just take that compound butter and now you're just spreading it all around. Get into every crevice. And that's my oven heating up. It just got to 420, not 420, but 450. Let that heat up for just a little bit longer while we prep this. And you just get to paint it, add all that flavor. We won't add as much to the bone side because obviously there's no meat on it. Kind of don't really need to do that, but all the top side, we'll go ahead and add as much of that butter as necessary to cover it. We don't want to go OD with the butter, but just enough to cover it, guys. Like I said, butter is going to make this truly amazing. It looks amazing as is right now. Okay, so we can see our prime rib is beautifully lathered up wall to wall. To make this perfect, so we have nothing to worry about, we're going to add a meat thermometer in this, and this just lets me know how it's cooking, when to take it out, how long to let it rest. If you don't have this, by all means, that's okay. You would just have to keep a bigger eye on it. But this is the trick to making it perfect, in my opinion. You have nothing to worry about at this point. And we're just gonna stick it into the deepest part, probably about halfway in. There you go. Right here, we have a cast iron skillet with the onions on the bottom so the meat can stay up. So take that prime rib. We're just gonna place that right on top of this. And the onions are gonna make sure that it doesn't sit in its own liquid. Hold it right above, and that's why we also have the bones too. That's gonna help it get a nice crust on it as well. So we're gonna bake this in the oven at 450 for about 20 minutes till you get a nice sear on it, nice crust on the outside. Then after that, turn the oven down to 325. We're gonna let that bake and continue to cook all the way through. And then after that, it's pretty much done. We'll take the rib roast off of it, let it rest, make the jus, and we're ready to go. So I will see you guys in a jiffy. Okay, look at this masterpiece. This looks so good. Oh, I'm so happy with that. Look at that beautiful thing. Okay, so now that it's out the oven, we're gonna move it to a wire rack just to let it rest for about 20 to 30 minutes while we make the jus. And then once we're done with that, everything will be perfect. You get a nice crispy color on the skin. Oh my goodness, this is going to be beautiful. And I cooked this to a nice medium rare. So I'm trying to lift this up. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. So let's go. We got in front of us so I don't make a mess. So go ahead, get under it, pick it up, let it drip out, and just place that. Ooh, that's hot. Place that right there. That is beautiful. So we can see all of our little fat dripping that's in the pan, flavor, but we don't need all of this. We just need a little bit of it. So I'm gonna take it and just dump it all into a glass container. Get all that good stuff out. We can set this to the side. Now we got the pan back over medium heat, and now we're just making ooh, that's hot. I'm gonna grab it anyway. Screw that over so y'all can see it. So we're gonna take a little bit of that fat dripping, about a 1/4 cup, not too much. And we're gonna pour that in there. And then after that, we need to go in there with some beef broth. And then the wine that we're gonna be using is Merlot. My mom is a flight attendant and she got this, and I've been looking for something to use for this. And we're gonna pour both these little bottles if I can open it. Okay, so we're gonna go in there with wine, and this is about 12 ounces in total. Add all that to that. That's one down. I can't get this one to open up. We can pour this one in there. After struggling, we pour all that in there. And now we're just gonna bring this to a nice simmer. Okay, so now you got all that in there. I'm gonna take all the onions that was in the pan that I pour out and just place that right back in there. Get off all that fat. You don't want any of that fat. And there's a little bit of fat in the pan. You can always skim that off the top as well. And the onions, they're just gonna bring extra flavor. Extra flavor. We'll strain it at the end, but add all the onions to the mixture. And then last but not least, we can go in there with all the extra rosemary and thyme that we have. Give that a good mix. Let's get everything all coated. And now you just want to turn this up, bring this to a nice roiling, I say a rolling simmer, but bring that up to a simmer. Then you just want to let this reduce by half. I'll show you what that looks like, but in the meantime, we're just waiting. All right, so now we can see our sauce has reduced. Y'all can't see it, but I can see it. Reduced by a little bit over half. And it's not meant to be a thick sauce, so this is a really thin sauce. If you did want to thicken it up, throw a little bit of cornstarch in it. But sauce is looking beautiful. Next thing we need to do to our sauce is just strain everything and just keep it warm so we can scoot this over. This is really hot. I always touch hot stuff for some weird reason. So I bring my cutting board back just so y'all can see. And this is obviously a strainer. We got a little measuring cup, and we're gonna take our jus and just, oh, don't make a mess. I'm making a mess. Oh, snap. Oh, I'm making a mess. I got white cabinets too. Dump all that out. Now that we got a nice, beautiful sauce, we're gonna wait for our prime rib to finish resting. I'm gonna clean this mess up and then we're ready to slice into it. We can go ahead and bring our prime rib back. Let's take a final look at it. That looks beautiful. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look at this. Gotta get my hands dirty, but doesn't that look beautiful, gorgeous, nice crust on it? Oh, it tastes really good. Okay, so we'll scoot this right to the side. And you can see it's already tilted because the meat is falling off the bone. Y'all get a close-up look at that. Oh, beautiful prime rib. I don't even want to cut into it. We can go ahead and cut off all the little ties off of that just to make it easy to remove the bones. Be careful, don't cut your fingers. The bones come right off. It should. He didn't cut it off all the way. But no biggie. Just take your knife and cut straight down. Get around any bones that you may have left in there. And the bones come off super easy. Oh, that's gonna be amazing. I can already tell. So now we can go ahead and flip this back up. Oh, look at that, guys. I know that looks amazing. Okay, now you just want to take this and slice straight into it. I was going for like a rare, medium rare-ish type of deal, but oh, I'm so excited, y'all, for real. Get you a nice. Oh. Now let it rest too for a little bit. I probably could have let it rest just a little bit longer, but oh, that is beautiful, y'all. Look at that. Look at that beautiful cut. Goodness gracious. Oh, that's beautiful. Y'all see that little nice marbling of fat right in between it? I like how that came out. So I'm gonna scoot y'all back. I'll get a thumbnail and then we're ready to eat. Oh, okay, it's time for our bite. I'm super excited. I just called my pops and I had to show him this, but we're gonna go for this bite. I'm not even trying to talk that much right now. So let's get you a good bite. Let's see. Before we try it with the jus, cheers. Let's go for it. Oh my God. That is so good. It's very well seasoned. Seasoning it the night before, 2 days before max. Do that, trust me. It makes it so good. It's tender, it's juicy. Probably should have waited for it to rest just a little bit longer, but I couldn't even wait for that. Let's get a piece of the jus now. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, that's good. I'll be eating this for the next 5 days. Oh my God, that is so good and so flavorful. That garlic herb crust was truly magnificent. You can really taste the thyme, the rosemary, and even when I made the jus, you could taste the onions that cooked down in that pan. This was a super easy recipe, guys. This took me about an hour and a half, closer to 2 hours, just letting it cook and rest in total. But this is super easy. You can do this at home and it can have the same results that I had today. Super good, guys. I'm pumped. Really, I'm really finna get off this camera and just start chowing down. But like always, guys, I appreciate all the love and support. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Comment down below what you want to see next, what I can do better. Y'all let me know. You know, we're doing this together. Send this to a friend. Let them know. Make this DERAYTHECOOK. Really pull this off today. But I'll see you next week. Eat great food. Peace.